Hey, it's Mental Matthew coming at you with another video. Today I'm going to be doing a quick setup and review of this product right here, which is a xim4, right? Or if you want to look at the boxes, what the box looks like, right? So if you don't know, what the xim4 allows you to do is hook up a mouse and keyboard to your console. You're allowed to play with them while still using your keyboard and mouse. So like I said, in the box when you order it, you get the actual Xim, and they give you a connection cable, right? So that's what they give you. And in addition to that, you're going to need your mouse of choice. Today I'm going to be using a Razer Hex. And I'm also going to be using, for my keyboard, I'm going to be using the Razer Tartus, right? The xim4 does allow for a lot of keyboards and mice, but if you're not sure, you can check their site. But it takes almost everything. There's a couple of them that it doesn't accept, but that list is short, right? So in addition to that, you're going to need a wire controller. So you can take your wireless controller that came with, like today I'm going to be set up with my PS4. So you can use your wireless controller with the charging cable that came with it, and we'll hook it all up that way and then get it going. Okay, so now that we're set up where we're going to set it up, first things we need to do is start connecting things, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our wired controller, in this case it's a PS4 controller connected with the charging cable, right? So we're going to plug this into the 3 port, the one with 3 dots on it, right? So we're going to plug that in like so. Alright, no problem. Then we're going to take our mouse, and then we're going to plug that into port number 1. You'll see there should be 1 dot there. Okay, next we're going to take our keyboard or gamepad of choice, and then we're going to plug that into the number 2 port, right, 2 dots. And then the last thing we have to do is connect the cable itself into the C port. Alright, so once we got all those connected, next we're going to do is we're going to be plugging this into the console of choice. In this case, we're doing it into my PlayStation. Okay, so once I plug this in, it's going to go through a series of events. It's going to flash up with a rainbow of colors. It's going to go into a red breathing mode, then it's going to go to a red and blue mode, and then it's going to be a constant blink. So we just initialize it, it's going through its rainbow, all right, red breathing, and now it's going to go through blue and green, and then once it gets out of that, it's ready, it's initialized, it's ready to go. And you'll notice all my stuff is lit up. When you first do this, your gamepad should work just fine, but your peripherals won't work, your keyboard and mouse, right? So what you have to do is you'll have to set up a configuration. So first you'll have to download the Xim Manager either through your Play Store or iOS. So it should look something like that, Xim Manager, right? And once you install that and go through it, it'll ask you to download the latest version. Okay, so once you have everything hooked up and you see your gamepad's working but your mouse and keyboard are not, what you're going to have to do is connect your Xim to a Bluetooth device. There is a wired method, but it's almost preferred to do the wireless with the Bluetooth version. So you come into your Bluetooth manager and scan, right? And it'll go through your scan, right? And once you put it in discover mode, then you're gonna have to hit this P, and then you should show up as your xim4, right? And then you go through that, you connect it, right? And then once you have it all connected, you're gonna go to, let me back out. You're gonna go to your Xim Manager, right? And it'll say, press to connect, right? So you're gonna go ahead and connect. and then it'll go through its cycle and it'll bring up the games you have. When I initially got this, when I plugged everything in, connected it, this was showing a solid white and it would not connect to my phone. So what I had to do is flash it, right? I had to go to the XIM site. Okay, so once you go to the XIM support section, it should be under the XIM support FAQ, and it gives you instructions on how to flash it, and you pretty much reset it and start up your put the newest firmware on it. And once you have that, then you're ready to go, and then it'll display, like right now I have it set up to Overwatch. That's what I've been playing, but there's a whole list of games you can add. You can go to new and you go through whatever you want to pick. Mirrors, ads, whatever, and then it'll ask you what console you're looking for, and it'll load the profile. You'll notice there's 4 icons, right? You got your console, you got your gamepad, you got your mouse, and you got your keyboard. They're all showing that they're available to use and they're ready to go. So once you have that, you can come in and you hit your edit button, and then it'll give you everything from your mouse, your keyboard. In this case, it's considered a. I think the targets are considered a gamepad, so there is for like D-pad and stuff like that, and then have all your button configurations, right? So there is a lot of playing with it. There's no one set value, and actually, when you first load that up, there'll be a message that says, it'll say maximize your game settings, right? Okay. It'll tell you to maximize your horizontal and vertical sensitivity, because what you want to do is max everything out and then use your XIM manager to adjust the actual sensitivity in game. So as you can see, as I'm hitting the keys, he's moving back and forth and up and down and jumping and melee. So you can, like I said, depending on, you can map this to whatever you want, and even to your mouse. Like I said, this is why you set everything to like maximum sensitivity and then go about it from there, right? So whatever you have it set to, you can obviously map it out to whatever you want. Your manager, right? And you're gonna have to play with your mouse sensitivity, and there's more advanced options, which I haven't got into it, but you can spend a lot of time, doing a lot of things on here, get into your exact specifications. Then it also has your keyboard for whatever you want. And if you ever need to edit it, you push whatever you want. Let's say you don't want walk as that anymore, so you press that, and then you press whatever corresponding button you want, and it'll go from listening to, once you hit the button, it'll change it. So now this goes forward, this goes back, right? Forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. And now obviously I don't want it that way, so I'm gonna come back to where the forward was. I hit that again, and now I'm going to hit the key that I want. In this case, it'll be the number 3 key. It goes from listening to the W. And now, it's going back and forth, right? And then, everything's set up to however you want it to. In this case, I have my jumps and stuff like that. So everything is mapped to your gamepad. And you can also come in here, the same thing for all your fires and stuff like that, and whatever. Every game's going to be slightly different. So if this particular game doesn't have an aim down sight, but if it did, you can come and make all these subcategories for like vehicles or aim down sight or what have you, and it'll change your mappings depending on what mode you're in and stuff like that. So once you're done with everything you want, you can click your save button, right? So now if you back out, what's going to happen is anytime you hit a button, it's going to tell you what you hit. In this case, it's on the keyboard, space bar, which equals jump. or if I hit, you know, forward, it's showing you I'm walking or strafing, right, reloading, you know, everything. Even on the mouse itself, it'll tell you, you know, left mouse or fire, or right mouse is secondary fire, and you can go through it that way, right? So now you can go back to playing with keyboard and mouse on your console. And so what you're thinking is, well, that's got to be cheating for consoles. It's less accurate for the gamepad than for the keyboard and mouse. Well, that might be true for some people, but for myself, I'm actually finding it a little bit harder. I haven't got back into the the coordination of it, but I think once I get the hang of it, I'll get better in here. But for the most part, you know, it's nice and comfortable. There's no lag in between. Everything you push shows up, and I really like it. So next thing is the price. So how much does this thing cost, right? So if you go to Xim site itself and you pick your country or whatever, it's showing up as $124.99. I'm sure it's plus shipping. Amazon actually has it for $149.99. But so it's all depending on where you want to get it from. Obviously the Xim site right now is cheaper, but it's the same product. And you know, I'm glad I purchased it. Like I said, I still do some practicing and configuring for the keyboard and mouse. But other than that, I like it. And if you're worried it doesn't show up as a keyboard and mouse, it shows up as a wireless controller. Alright, so I'm going to end the video here. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Feel free to ask me questions. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Alright, thanks. Bye.